Power chord study, hit me with your best shot. Your end result should sound something like this. Now, the purpose of this video is to just have fun and get to know our power chords, because if you're a rock player, power chords are a must and we need to know them. So your goals over here: A, learn a cool riff; B, find out where your power chords are, and we'll even throw in a bit of a solo towards the end of the video, so watch the end and you'll see some nice little cool riffs you can do with it as well. But step one, getting to know the power chords. Now, power chords are called fifths, and your power chords for hit me with your best shot are going to be E, which is at fret number 7, finger 1 is at fret 7, and then you're going to go from fret 7 to open position, and you'll see there, you can actually see the 5th string vibrating when I strum it, and I'm only playing 2 strings, the 5th and 4th string, for those 2 chords so far. Now, obviously you can play an extra octave if you want to include it as well. We're keeping this more for the fun, more for the easiness of it. The purpose to get you playing, so it's more for the beginner to the intermediate player. Next chord, C sharp, C with a hashtag, that's at fret number 4. So we're getting to learn some important power chords on your A string. Your 5th string, this string here, where all the root notes, or the notes that the chords are built from or found, is the 5th string. It's called your A string. This is the A string. Okay, so this is C sharp at fret number 4. Memorize that, very important. Get to know your chord names. And the last chord is going to be B5. So if you take it through slowly, fret 7, all the way down to open position, to fret 4, to fret number 2. And if you take it a little bit faster, these are the names. Say the names as you play them. E, A, C sharp, B, B. Okay. Because then you get to associate the names of each chord. So don't just get familiar with, oh, I must play there, and there, and there, and there, there. Get to know the names of the chords. Very important. Now the second part of the riff, because it's basically a 2-part, goes like this. And that's quite a cool phrase. Let's just take you through that slow motion as well. It starts again at fret number 7. You can see fingers 1 and 4. I'll show you different ways to play the power chords now as well. But let's first get through the riffs first. Fret 7 for the E. Remember, 7 is E. Down to open position, the open A string for the A power chord. And now we're going to have, and that's going to be fret 4, C sharp, down to fret 2, B, to the open A, and back to the B. And basically looking at 2 strums, 2 strums, 2 strums, and 1 strum on the B. One more time. And let's put the whole thing together. First and second riff should sound and look something like this. 2, 3, 4, and pause. And repeat. Now the little slide there sounds cool. It's not a must, but I think it sounds quite cool, so let's keep it. Now on the power chords, how to play them. Remember we said they're called fifths, that's just the name. Like if you see a small M, it means minor. 5 means power chord. It has nothing to do with the 5th fret or the 5th string. Okay. Now power chords on the E5 fret 7, you can play it like this with fingers 1, 3 and 4. I'd not recommend it at first if you're still quite new to power chords. I would rather you go for frets 1 and 3, or fingers 1 and 3 rather, sorry, or fingers 1 and 4. That's my personal preference, because then I can bunch my hand nice and tight, so it's nice and sort of cozy like this. So when I slide and jump, my hand moves as a whole up and down the fretboard. It gives me much more sort of controlled shape. So you can do it like this, 1 and 3. You can bring the pinky in if you want to include the octave. Not even that important right now, but I'll demonstrate the octave shortly. Or you can use 1 and 4. So 1 and 3, 1 and 4, or all 3. Okay, don't use the middle finger. Sorry. Okay, not being used. Now I'm going to play the backtrack one more time. I'm going to zoom out a bit there so you can see the hand movement. Also, watch my strumming. It's very short, controlled strums. So please don't go. It's noisy, you've got no control. We accidentally strum too many strings. We lose definition. Keep it palm onto the saddles. These little things over here are called saddles, by the way. Those are your saddles, getting a bit of about your guitar. Your pickup switch, different switches over here. We'll explain it in a different video what to do. Put it to the back, it works better for hard rock. Rick and Morty, watch Rick and Morty. No, don't get credit for that. Okay, and then your strumming, very short. You can see my movement there is a very small movement. Now, I've made a little backtrack which I'm going to play along with, and it's going to sound something like this. 4 count, so if you want to play along with me, you're more than welcome. Here we go. Sounds quite good fun. So this is to help us just get to learn some riffs, to get to know where are my power chords, to play something with your mates. If you've got a friend that plays drums and a bass playing connection and you just want to have some fun with them, nice to play some riffs. You don't always want to learn a song, sometimes you just want to have fun. Now for those that want to play a little bit of solos that maybe know the pentatonic scale, this specific chord progression is in E minor. So if you play your E minor pentatonic from fret 12, that's fret 12, the double dot. It's going to go like this. It's going to go 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14 again, and then 12, 15. And always remember to bring it back down as well. Now listen how cool this scale sounds over the progression. I've pre-recorded a rhythm guitar with this as well, just to give us a bit of a chord feel. And check this out. Just going up and down the scale sounded pretty cool. So you've automatically almost done your first solo. So this is a nice way to get into experimenting with your scales. The minor pentatonic, really cool scale to get going with. Okay, now check this. I'm going to do a solo only using the middle 2 strings. So I'm going to play that note, that note, that note, and that note. And I'm going to repeat notes. I'm going to bend the note, play it backwards. And I'm just going to do my first solo using 4 notes to show how we can explore your first improvising. Okay, 2, 3, 4. It works quite nicely. Once we can do that, we can expand onto all the strings. We can learn some exercises, things like this. For those exercises, please visit my YouTube channel and you'll find a whole lot of exercises inside the other songs and tips and things like that, but enough of the advertising. I want you to experiment, and to say goodbye, I'm just going to do a bit of a fun solo. Going to start nice and slow, maybe put a little bit of quick stuff in just for the fun of it, and to show you how cool we can have fun just with a basic track, familiar song, and a friend or two if you got one. 2, 3, 4. And there you have it, a nice way to have some fun with Pat Bennett's Hit Me With Your Best Shot. You've learned some power chords, you learned a cool riff, hope you had a lot of fun with it. And we'll see you on some other videos with other little jams and getting to know your power chords. Have a cool week. Thank you. Cheers.